Okay, guys, we are back for chapter 5. Chapter 5 is called Elk. Elk. In chapter 4, there was a big fight, and if you'll remember, the father, I think, has passed away. So, we are on to chapter 5 called Elk. Here we go. The sun rises behind me, and I am still running. The trees thin to nothing. The ground goes flat. I could run until the earth meets the sky, but the smell of water calls me. I veer from my course to a shallow pool, ringed with reeds and shrubs. I smell the wind for dangers, but there is nothing at all. As I drink, the nothing I smell and hear and see weighs me down like stones. Father is gone. Growl too, but what of the rest? Did Warm find a place to hide? Did Mother and the pups? Did the survivors scatter? They could be anywhere. I pace the edge of the water. I want to call them. I need to call them. But to survive, they must hide. I raise my nose to the wind, but there is no smell of anything but grass and water. A pack of birds, as brown and yellow as the tall grass around them, flits from one stalk to the next. They sing as if nothing has happened. I snap at one, and the whole pack of them swoops up and away. I turn my ears in every direction. Wind, bees, the rustle of mice through the grass, the whisper of a snake following. I turn a full circle twice. I am alone. Should I go and find them? Wait here by the water? The air will be cooler come night. It will carry a smell better. I curl up in the tall grass, tucking my tail in for comfort, but my heart pounds as though I am a dead run. I used to go off on my own. In the mountains, there was always something beautiful just over the next ridge, a lake, a berry field, a sheltered patch of ice, but I always came home to my family. I have never, not once in my life, slept alone. The weary day goes on, and nobody comes. They could be anywhere. In the forest, on the far side of the mountain, deep in the river canyon. I circle again and again, listening, smelling. The sky darkens, and my pack does not come. Stars come out, and I can smell no one. And then a full moon rises, and the pale wolves begin to howl. First the leader, and then another howls in, and another, and I lose count of them. Their voices are strange and wild and mean. And then, at the very end of their song, Sharp gives a low and whimpering howl. He is there following Wolf now, and no brother of mine. If any of my pack live, they are silent or gone. So here it says, Sharp gives a low and whimpering howl. He is there following Wolf now, and no brother of mine. So it sounds like Sharp has gone to the other wolf pack. Oh. The wolf star, brightest of all in the summer sky, shines over my home ground. I know every hidden lake and rocky ridge. But if my pack is not in the mountains, then it is no home to me. I feel a howl deep inside, but dare not let it out. Okay, so here's one of these paw prints, so it means that time changes. In the morning, I wake with a start. I can smell Warm. I spring to my feet and I raise my nose to the wind. The smell is gone. But I did smell something. I dreamed of Warm sleeping curled up under my chin as he always does. Singing with his quiet songs, I dash over to rise in the ground and sample the breeze again. Maybe I was wrong. There is no smell from a footfall. He has not walked past. But there is a very faint wolf smell carried on in the wind, mixed in with the nip of pine sap and sweet mountain flowers. It could be him. He would follow me anywhere, he promised, but he would keep our pups safe first. I spring up and I run for my home ground. I will find him, and the pups too. I will save them all. The ground rises. I keep searching, and I stop, and I breathe in. I turn in a full circle. I hold my breath with listening. It is gone. But it was there. I know it was there. I keep going, hoping that Worm found a way to slip through the enemy pack, hoping Mother and the pups found a place to hide. No wolf knows our mountains like Mother. I run until the shadow of them falls over me. Still nothing. I trot to one side and then the other, listening, tasting the air. And then it hits me like a rock falling from a ledge. The border mark of the pale wolf pack. I can see where they have stood, and claws marked the bark and the long slashes as high as they can reach, where they have wet the tree trunks. The smell turns my stomach over. These were my trees, my meadows, my cold streams and ice-capped peaks, but the border marks stop me like a face of a cliff. I must not pass. I cannot leave Worm to the teeth and claws of the intruders. I wet mark a tree on my side of the border. I beat the ground with my paws, laying down a scent that he can follow. I run along the prairie side of the border and wet mark the scattered oaks and aspen as I go. I cannot kill the pale wolves, but I can light a path for Worm to find me. The prairie is hotter than the forest and more colorful. Blue and purple and red flowers nod in the wind. They hum with bees, and everywhere I step there is a grasshopper or beetle scuttling away from my paw. As the heat of the day comes on, I climb a butte and stake a lookout for Worm, for any survivor of my pack. Way over by the canyon rim, I see elk. Good. When I find my family, we will need to hunt. The broad-winged hawk, with the rust-colored tail, turns slow circles in the sky, and the little hawk with the speckled wings hovers and strikes at mice. All afternoon I watch and I listen. Black and white cows and their pups browse in the grass. As the shadows lengthen, the pack of cows moves along and sheep wander through the shrubs at the foot of my butte. They are slow and have ugly voices. I am about to head back for water when I smell them. Wolves. I run to the edge of the butte's flat top. It is not warm. There are at least 2 wolves by the smell of things. They are not my pack. They could be hunters from the enemy pack, scouts looking to kill every last one of us. I crouch, freeze among the boulders. In leaving a path for Worm, I have led the pale wolves straight to me. I am certain I can outrun any single wolf, but nobody can outrun a whole pack. I watch their approach. There are 2, only 2. They are not tracking my path as they come. They are stalking prey. I am dizzy with relief when I see, by their dark brown and boulder gray coats, that they are not the enemy pack. These wolves are young, like me, and male. I listen and wait for the rest of their pack to join the hunt, but no one else comes. They must be on their own, yearling bachelors. They drop into the waiting to hunt crouch with their eyes fixed on sheep, coyote food. Father never fed us sheep. I look from one wolf to the other to see which is the leader. They both carry their tails tall. They are both inching ahead to be the first to spring. This is not going to go well. The brown wolf springs first, but the sheep ducks to the side, whirls free, and runs screaming across the prairie. The gray wolf springs a moment too late and only manages to grab a hind leg in his teeth. He holds on to the kicking sheep as all the rest run away. The brown wolf turns back and drives home the killing bite. Afterward, there is no nod to thank the lead wolf, no pause to honor the life of the meat. Both wolves tear through the skin, spilling guts in the dirt and dragging the choicest bits of food from each other's mouths. A disgusting thing to see. No order in the pack. No respect. Maybe they are orphans. They must have learned to hunt watching coyotes. I turn away from them and look to my mountains. Mother and the pups could have escaped. They could be on the far side of the mountains, warm and song. Maybe even Pounce or Wag could be with them. They could be out on a prairie somewhere, hunting elk like wolves should. Mother would never abandon her pups. She would defend them to her death. We all would. Okay, another time change here. Hunger wakes me at dawn. A vulture is picking over the remains of the sheep and the bachelor wolves left behind. The wolves are long gone, and I want no part of them. They are no better than the skulking coyotes that came in the dark to pick over our scraps and slink away before sunrise. Elk were on the horizon yesterday. That is what Father would want me to hunt. If any of my pack survived, that is where they will be. I set aside my hunger and I run. Even with my sorrows, running is all joy. There are no trees or windfalls or ravines to dodge around. I run flat out, the ground pounding under my paws. If my family is alive, they will be near the elk. The smell of elk grows stronger. I lift my nose as I run to search for some scent of my pack. I circle around to where the elk can't smell me. My family would gather here and wait for the right moment, and I slow to a trot, and I stop. Nothing. I circle back, bark a call. A prairie full of food is waiting for us. But my pack is gone. I bark out another call and another, but no one calls back. They cannot be gone, not all of them. Grass and shrubs spread before me as broad as the sky. How will I ever find them? Hunger beats me to the ground, and I lie in the grass, wishing for the cool shade. The soft moss and needles of my home ground. The size of the sky makes me feel small, and I long for the company of trees. Over the open ground come the voices of elk. Their relaxed whines and whistles tell me that they have not caught wind that I am here. Even though I am thirsty, water runs from my mouth at the sound of them. I will hunt. I must. And when I've brought down meat, my pack will come. They will see the ravens and the vultures gather, and they will hear coyotes sing my praises, and they will find me. The elk are far, but I am fast, and I run for them, not caring that I am spending speed before I should. I will feed my pack. Nothing else matters. They hold their position at first, but soon the mother elk standing guard barks the call to run. Pups mother up. They move together toward the sunset. I do not care. No one can run like me. I gain on them steadily until the beat of hooves on the ground is all I can hear. And elk, sweat, and fear is all I can smell. The pups bleat in full panic. I find an elk that is falling behind and I mark him as mine. I can taste the meat already. I will take this elk down and Worm will find me. Mother and the rest will come running from wherever they are hiding, and we will be a pack again, and this will be our new home ground. I run alongside the elk as Father did. He would pick a moment to leap and make a killing blow. I have seen him do it, but I always ran in front and turned the herd. There is no one to turn them for me now. Hunger drives me to run faster, to get out in front of the elk and turn him, so that I can make the killing strike. The others swerve away, and my mark comes to a dead stop. Bellowing in anger and waving his head from side to side, I check my run, and I circle back, only to have the elk turn again. In less than a heartbeat, he kicks, slicing deep into the meat of my chest. My breath whooshes out. I hear the crack of a bone, and fire runs up my neck and down to the pads of my feet. I hit the ground, and night falls as swift as a thunderclap. So that didn't go so well for him. We'll stop right there, and we'll start back the next chapter the next time.